Amidst the beauty of Sedona, Arizona, a family vacation took an unexpected turn. On the eve of a tragedy, he dropped a bombshell, his sudden need to return to Los Angeles. It raised suspicions, but his recent musical success with One More Light blindingly concealed any distress. In a poignant moment, he bid his wife and children farewell with an emotional kiss. Little did they know it would be their last. The following day, a devastating discovery awaited them in his Los Angeles estate, Chester's lifeless form, accompanied by silent witnesses in the form of empty alcohol bottles. Was his hasty departure a hidden message? Join us as we explore the heartbreaking tale of Chester Bennington's silent messages before tragedy struck. In the peaceful town of Phoenix, Arizona, Chester's life began. He spent his early years in a loving home with his parents and siblings, but at the tender age of 11, the world as he knew it shattered when his parents divorced. Crushed by this upheaval, he turned to music as a sanctuary, a way to escape the turmoil that enveloped him. Yet, the scars of that tumultuous time remained etched within him, shaping the course of his life. His journey to fame began with a voice that resonated across the globe, a voice that would come to define him. When he joined Linkin Park, his career soared to heights he had only dreamt of. But his impact extended far beyond the stage, to the heartbroken and the solitary souls. His music, and more importantly, his voice, became a sanctuary, a source of solace and peace in a world marked by pain and isolation. In due time, Chester found the courage to reveal the shadows that had haunted him.
Most people probably don't relate Linkin Park or myself with, alcoholism or drug addiction or anything like that. And, but that's a part of my life, and that's been a part of my life since I was a very young boy. I started using drugs when I was 11. So it was, I definitely wasn't making records at that time.
He spoke of his depression and the destructive path of substance abuse that stemmed from the weight of stress and the haunting scars of his past. A series of sexual abuses inflicted by an unnamed individual weighed heavily on him. In an attempt to find solace and erase the indelible marks left by these traumatic experiences, Chester turned to drugs and alcohol during his later teenage years. He consumed a staggering amount of marijuana, opium, cocaine, alongside other substances, in a desperate quest to cleanse the wounds that refused to heal. Yet, he would come to realize that some scars, no matter how hard he tried, would never truly fade away. Before long, Chester began exhibiting troubling signs of suicidal thoughts, and he even made a few attempts. It was only those closest to him who could discern these harrowing signals. Yet, in a world that often fails to take such signs seriously, especially when they come from someone like Chester, who appeared to be at the zenith of his career and blessed with a seemingly happy family. For some, Chester's darker side, which he called as Dark Passenger, remained hidden until a troubling alcohol relapse. Despite rehab in 2006, he experienced blackouts from excessive drinking. This relapse hinted at his inner demons resurfacing, possibly intertwined with his premeditated plan. To Linda, his wife, spoke of the troubling signs. Before the release of One More Light, Chester had withdrawn, isolating himself from both family and friends. She also mentioned that this song reflected his sense of hopelessness. While it was assumed he was immersed in his work, the truth might have been far different. Perhaps he was battling the depths of anxiety and depression in that self-imposed isolation. In the wake of Chris Cornell's tragic passing, Chester's world unraveled. He struggled to focus on his work, an unsettling change for someone known for his unwavering dedication. Many believe that Chester's suicide was inspired by Chris Cornell's tragic death, both friends ending their lives by hanging. Chester had even been a godparent to Chris's children. The date of Chester's suicide, July 20th, coincided with what would have been Chris Cornell's 53rd birthday. Was it a chilling coincidence or perhaps a planned tribute? Mike Shinoda, a fellow band member, noticed a disturbing shift during rehearsals. Chester, who had always been a powerhouse, now faltered, choking on his lines. His subsequent isolation raised concerns, initially perceived as a need to gather himself, but it concealed darker intentions, to reunite with his beloved friend, Chris Cornell, in another world. Days before his death, Chester reached out to former bandmates, seeking one last opportunity to play together. He messaged Robert DeLeo of Stone Temple Pilots and emailed the former Guns N' Roses drummer, expressing his desire to perform again with their all-star band, King of Chaos. Perhaps this was his way of saying goodbye. A series of text messages to his friend, Ryan Shuck, revealed Chester's detailed descriptions of his addictions and his hourly battle. He shared what he would do in the first hour he wanted to drink, taking life hour by hour. Chester's inner turmoil rarely showed on the surface. He could transition from humor to extreme sensitivity in a heartbeat. An incident where he cracked a joke about lung cancer on stage, only to chastise himself backstage, illustrated this duality and extremes of being impulsive. Through his music, Chester had saved countless lives from the abyss of suicide. His songs resonated with those in despair, offering hope and inspiration. In Heavy, he sang, "I don't like my mind right now," a poignant admission of his inner struggles. In an interview, he candidly stated that these words described him 24/7, highlighting the unpredictability of his emotional state. In his final song, One More Light, he sang, "Who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do." Irony weaves through this tragedy. A man who saved lives found himself beyond salvation. The question lingers, were these signs clear in hindsight or mere coincidences? One thing remains certain. Chester's music will continue to resonate through the ages, leaving an indelible mark on generations to come. Rest in peace, Chester. Your light may have dimmed, but your music shines eternally. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more such thought-provoking stories.